have been the one. Last time you helped me change from, I forgot what it is, to back to Google.
Okay. Okay. I knew we had met before. And how are you doing today?
Reasonably good. Yeah, Linda's having a lot of trouble with the computer with being overloaded and trying to get rid of some things, but we'll see. Maybe you can help me figure out how to do that today. Slow it down. I mean, speed it up. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Yes. Great. This is going to be just the right workshop. Wonderful. And we've got Peggy here. We have Jen here. And we'll see who else happens to log in there, and we will get started in just a moment. Let's see how this is. There we go. Okay. Okay, great. And so hi Jen, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Good, good. Wonderful. And I think everything went fine today with the link, so we should not have had any problem with that. Now, has anyone have had any issues using their Google Chrome browser lately? Anyone? I certainly have. You know, I have always used Google Chrome, and then up until the last couple of weeks, something is not compatible on my system. So I've been using Firefox in the meantime. It's been super fast. I'm really pleased with it. I would love to go back to using Google Chrome because I use all of the Google applications like Calendar and Gmail, but it's okay. I can get to know a different system in the meantime, right? Well, let me go ahead at this point and I'm going to share my screen with you. But before I do that, I'm going to mute you only so that I don't hear all your phones ringing and crosstalk, and maybe someone will come to your door. My kiddos are home today, and because it's Good Friday, so they're home. If you should see them walking around, chances are you may. So yeah. So I am going to, if you do have a question, what I want you to do is just simply raise your hand. I'll be keeping my eye out for you. You can also use any of the Zoom reactions. They are down below in your Zoom meeting toolbar. You can give me a thumbs up. You can raise your hand. You can even put up any reaction that you want if you want to try to get my attention, all right? So at this time, what I'm going to do is share my screen with you. And cue this up. It'll take me just a second to do that. I'm also going to put the subtitles on there as well. I love having them on there. I think they add a lot of comfort to our meeting and hopefully make you feel more comfortable. That's really the plan here. Hi, Bob. Super to see you today. Okay. Today, we are going to talk about 10 ways to quicken your PC. And I do receive a lot of phone calls from clients about their PC behaving very slowly and sluggishly. So I have put this class together to teach you some tools of how you can quicken your computer. Okay. What I would like to know is, how many of you are using Windows 10? Do we have any Windows 10 users here? Raise a hand. Raise a hand. Okay. Okay, super. And your computer, is it 5 years old? Younger? Younger. Okay. Yep. Okay. And do we have any super old computers joining us today? Nope. Okay. And overall, Larry, maybe you can tell me, what is your biggest complaint or your wife's biggest complaint about her computer?
A couple of things. When you try to type information, it's delayed and does not show the letters until you get part of the way.
Okay.
That's a good classic example of the slowness.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else have an example of what their slow computer is doing? Jen, any examples from you? Nope. Okay. If you do, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know. Okay. And what have you tried that works? Anything that you know of that you've tried that works?
I've just gotten used to it being at the speed it's at, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. And when someone else gets on your computer, then they also comment on it and they'll say, oh, it's so slow. Your computer so slow. Yes, I know. Sometimes we just get accustomed to the issues. I get it.
Abby,
Okay. Yes.
is this appropriate for Mac users?
You
Probably.
know, it is specific to Windows users today.
See you next week.
Okay. All right. Goodbye. So today, yes, Suzanne, I think you just go ahead and unmute yourself, please, so I can hear you. Try it one more time. You have to either hold down the space. There you go.
I am a Mac user, so I guess I'm going to say goodbye too.
Okay,
Alas.
I promise you, I'm going to put together a Mac user, how to improve your Mac. That's coming up within the next couple weeks.
Good, good. Let us know. Thank you.
Okay, you got it. Yes, Larry.
The thing that I described to you seemed to get worse when I went back to Google from whatever that other one was.
Okay, yeah, Google to, well, I'm not sure which one you were using before.
It's the one with the blue kind of circle.
Yeah, I think that's Edge. I think that's
Yes.
Microsoft Edge.
It was.
Okay. Okay. Was it faster using Edge?
Yes, a little bit.
That makes sense because it's a native program. That program is native to your Windows device.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Peggy.
I do have a problem. I couldn't get on quick enough. When I leave the computer, I don't shut it off. I leave it on all night, and lately, about a week or so now, when I come back, my email is frozen. That screen is frozen. It doesn't go up, down. It doesn't do anything. It takes quite a few minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes to come back. Is that normal? Because it wasn't doing that at first.
You know, what I would recommend is that you quit all the programs.
Okay.
And see if that helps.
Okay. But I don't have to shut the computer down.
You don't. You can put it to sleep.
Okay.
And you can quit the programs that are open, like Mail, and
Right.
then have it go to sleep.
All right.
Okay. Okay, good. So the tips today, I'm going to give them to you in a sequence. The reason they're in a sequence is because I want you to try one first and give it a day and see if that works. And if that works, great. There's no need for you to move on. But if it didn't work, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so you can get a good idea of what is having the impact on your PC. All of these tips are Windows 10 specific. So if you're using a device that has Windows 7 on it, I am going to strongly encourage you to update your system and start using Windows 10. You're opening yourself up to all sorts of security issues by not updating your system. These are PC specific tips. That means I won't be talking about your Wi-Fi or your internet. I'm just going to be talking about your PC because I can't address everything at once, right? And I'm going to keep things simple. Okay, so the tips I'm going to teach you today, they are built in to your device, and I'm going to give you a progression in which to search for them, but they're going to be simple. And then I have 3 pro tips at the end for my more advanced folks. Okay, now I am recording this, which means you will have a chance to go back later, watch the recording, and pick up where we left off. So You don't have to be madly taking notes. This is being recorded, and then you can watch it later, okay? So when I talk about the things I want you to check off or uncheck or search for so that you can change and address a certain setting, all of these can be searched for in this right down here where it says type here to search, okay? They can be searched for. They can also be accessed through your settings app, which looks like that gear. So for instance, with the first tip being Windows Update, when you go back later and look for Windows Update and make sure that your device is running the updates, you're going to either one, find the Windows Update in your settings, or two, search for Windows Update where it says type here to search. Okay, so that is number one, check for Windows Update. So frequently when I'm helping clients, this is the first place I look for any issues that might be occurring. So you've probably heard that keeping your software up to date is a good idea for security. And this is true, and it can help your performance. Windows will automatically send you a notification when an update is available. You just need to make sure that you're not ignoring it. And so I want you to go ahead and see if you have perhaps missed an update. So what I want you to do is go to Start, click on Settings, and then go to Update and Security, okay? And then look for Windows Updates. And once you do that, I want you to tell me if, after you've checked for updates and everything is current, run it the next day and let me know if that was it or not. Here's the second one. We're going to review startup apps. Startup apps, they don't necessarily chew up your memory and your resources, but they can potentially hamper your PC's performance. And the more programs that have to launch at startup, the greater your PC is affected. And there are certain types of programs that you do want to start automatically, such as an antivirus and maybe your webcam if you're regularly using it. However, there are many apps that somehow muscle their way into your startup routine with little or no reason. And changing your startup program is a simple way to boost your computer's load time and get rid of programs that you might not necessarily need. So when you type in startup apps into the search bar, you're going to see a list like this. And if there are any here that you don't recognize, I want you to toggle the switch off. That just means that you're not deleting it, you're not removing it, you're just preventing it from starting up in the background without your knowledge, okay? And after you've done that, see if that's helped your computer. The next one is number 3, Windows tips and tricks. These are constantly running in the background. The default is that they're turned on. And it's like having a watchdog pacing around, constantly tracking all of your moves. And it may seem odd for me to tell you to turn off the tips because we're talking about tips, but this can reduce your processing time and the time that it needs for your Windows to display relevant tips to your system. The same can be said for notifications. So if Windows doesn't need to generate a notification, your computer will go faster. Now, often those notifications, my clients call them pop-ups. So if you know them to be pop-ups, the factual name for that is notification, notifying you of a new news story, notifying you of a new email. So what I want you to do is I want you to turn off Windows tips and tricks. And you do this by going to settings. And then you type in notification and actions. And then you're going to toggle off get tips. It's down there at the bottom. And then let's see if that helped your computer. Larry, did you want me to go back a minute? No, okay.
No, you're fine.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so this next one is to adjust your power options. Now, I've got to tell you, this one was a game changer for me. I never realized that this was affecting my computer's power and the way that it was generating more power, because you can customize your power plan on your computer. And if you're like me, you want to save energy, right? We all want to save energy. And so at some point I went into my computer and I clicked on power saver. And that does save energy by reducing your computer's performance when possible. And what that could mean is that you're not getting enough power to your computer for it to process what you need it to do. So instead of putting it on power saver, which is what us energy conscious folks would do, I want you to put it on balanced instead. All right. This way your computer will opt and will be able to choose the consumption that it needs for that moment. Okay, number 5. This one is to turn on Windows maintenance. Now, on Windows 10 computers, automatic maintenance is a feature that keeps your computer running healthy and optimizing it by combining and running all these maintenance tasks without impacting your performance. And it's usually scheduled to happen once a day when you're not actively using your device. So I want to make sure that you have this turned on. Sometimes it gets turned off somehow. And so when you do turn this on, I want you to turn it on for a time when you are absolutely not going to be on your computer. So you go to settings, you go to control panel, and you go to system and security. And from there, you're going to look up security and maintenance and make sure that the automatic maintenance is toggled on. So someone wanted to know if this is for desktop. This is for laptops and possibly your tablet as well, depending on the operating system. Okay, number 6, adjust appearance. Windows 10 has some fancy effect shadows, animation, and visuals. And on a fast or newer PC, it doesn't make any difference. But on a slower and older PC, they will drain your performance. And here's the thing. We probably don't even recognize that it's happening because it's subtle. These fancy visual effects, they're showing up underneath a window. When I turned them off, I didn't even recognize it. Now, my son would recognize it because he's more attuned to those visual effects, but they really don't even chart on my neat must-have list. So what I want you to do is make some minor adjustments to the way things are appearing. And you do this by, you search for performance options and go to the advanced tab. I know you can do this even though it says advanced. And then you're going to adjust for best performance, okay? You're going to adjust for best performance, and then you're going to apply down below. And you could even toggle off or deselect some of those effects like animations in the taskbar, or you can toggle off fade or slide tooltips into view. These are things that are not going to chart with any of us. We're not even going to notice that they're not happening. And then restart your computer and see if that helped at all. Okay, in addition to turning off shadows and animations and visual effects, you can also disable the transparency effects that come with Windows 10. And this is another one where when you adjust it, you don't even notice the difference unless you're the graphic designer who created it. But it really takes a surprising amount of work for Windows to create these transparency effects. It's sort of like a window and then it's part of it is transparent and you can see through it. And let's see, turning them off can make a difference. So here's how you do that. You go to your settings, personalization, and then you select colors and you can turn off the transparency effects. Okay, number 8, turn on storage sense. So starting with Windows 10, storage sense has a way, it's a built-in app that's going to keep your storage optimized. And storage sense was designed to be a silent assistant that's working on your behalf without the need to configure it, but once in a while, it does get turned off. And so your settings may need to be adjusted. And what you want to do is you want to go into type in storage sense, and you want to make sure that it is turned on, not off. And you also want to delete temporary files that my apps are not using, as well as delete files that have been in the recycle bin for more than 30 days. Okay, number 9, run Windows security. So Windows 10 includes Windows security, which provides the latest antivirus protection, and your device will be actively protected from the moment you start on your Windows 10 computer. Windows 10 security is continually scanning for malware, for viruses, for security threats, which is all great. And in addition to this protection, the updates are being downloaded automatically to help keep your device safe and protected. But once in a while, one of these is not updated and there's a threat that's existing within your device. So what I want you to do is look up, search for Windows security and check, scan over those 8. There's usually 8 different little icons there, and see if any of them are red, which means something needs to be done. You may need to turn on the virus protection. Maybe it got turned off. Or maybe there's a problem with your device security. So double check that all of these have a little green check by them. Okay, here's number 10. What I want you to do is pause OneDrive syncing. Now, down on your computer, and usually in the bottom right, there's a little cloud icon down there. And what that means is that your backup drive in the cloud for your Windows device is called OneDrive. And it's turned on for it to continuously sync. So it's continuously working in the background, which is a great thing, but it also takes up some of your performance strength. And it's seamless, it's syncing. And what I want you to do is to pause that syncing for 1 day and restart your PC and see if that made the difference, because it could. And we can always change the syncing from continuously syncing to maybe sync every 2 days so that it's not running continuously in the background. Okay, now I have got 3 pro tips. They're going to take this up just a level. And the first one is to open up your task manager. So you're going to go to startup, and there you can see what items and programs and apps are running in the background. Some you may actually want to run, like antivirus software, but there might be others that are totally unnecessary. For instance, sometimes Zoom is running in the background of my computer at all times. It's open and it's ready to start a meeting, which can be a good thing, but it can also be utilizing power, and I don't need to have it turned on all the time. So what I want you to do is open Task Manager. You're going to search for Task Manager and go through these and decide which ones you don't want automatically. So the most important thing here is that you disable the ones that are high. They are high, they have a high startup impact. Like for instance, Adobe Creative Cloud, which charted up here. Now, if you're not using Adobe regularly, you do not need to have this turned on at startup. Any of the ones that start with Microsoft, you're going to want to keep on there, right? But if you aren't sure, either leave it or do a Google search to find out a little bit more. You can also email me if you want to. Okay. Let's see, here's the second pro tip. Defrag by optimizing your drives. So in the good old days, we had the defrag available to us. We could start at any time. And this really works the same way, but they changed the name of it and they're calling it now optimizing. So the more you use your hard drive, the more fragmented it becomes, and then it doesn't file itself as efficiently. But this defrag helps put the files back into place. And when they're out of place, you can hear it. You hear the chugging along of your hard drive. You hear all the work it's doing in the background. So what I want you to do here is search for defrag and optimize drives, and then run this weekly so that it all stays in the right place. Okay, number 3. Okay, number 3 is to run the troubleshooter. There is a troubleshooter in your system settings, and you can open up the settings app and search for troubleshoot. Windows recommends troubleshooting these and which ones you should run, and they should be running automatically. So it's something I would recommend you do is to go into this area and troubleshoot. Okay, now as we wrap up, I'm going to bring you all back for questions. So I would love to know which one you think you're going to try first, which one may have the biggest impact for you. And I'm available to answer any questions for you as well. And I'll ask you to unmute and feel free to ask any questions.
You said you were going to record that. How do I get that information so I can go through that maybe one at a time so that I can try each one? How do I do that?
Okay, so this afternoon I'll send Joe and Renee a recording of the class, and they put it on Touchtown.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they have all the classes on Touchdown. I've recently sent them a more comprehensive list with the names of the videos and the links to the videos. But if you can't locate it, let me know. I can always just email you the link so you have it available to you as well.
But
Yes.
the problem is when it's on the screen and we're looking at it, how do we go to the other settings without missing you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So you can because it's a YouTube video, you can play it on your TV if you want to. You can play the video on any device. It doesn't
Okay.
have to be on your computer or on your tablet. Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Abby,
Yes. Yeah.
it's really fun. Each time I get an email or a notice, a bell rings that just, it must be a decibel 10 or something. Mute that or soften it.
Yeah. Okay. So that is a sound, considered a sound for a notification. Let me see if I can show you how to disable that. Okay. And I'm going to do a little search over here. Now, if you want to turn off the notification entirely, what you're going to do is, okay, let me find the right thing for you. Hold on one second. Okay. I am going to put this path here of steps, and then we'll talk through it. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat so you can see what the steps are. And let me see if I can show you on my computer as well. I'll share my screen with you to give you an idea. I'm just trying to find you a good image so it makes sense to you both visually and notifications. Okay, this looks pretty good. Let me show you this screen right here. Hold on a second. I'm getting it ready to share with you. All right. That'll work. Okay, right here, I am showing you Windows settings. So in the search bar down below, you can type in notifications and
Abby, I have Windows 10. Is that the same?
yes, it is. Okay. Under notifications, because that sound is notifying you that something is new or different. It's getting your attention. So you need to look it up under notifications. And now chances are it's this one right here where it says mail. So what I want you to do is just toggle this little button off. It's on. And I want you to click on the other side and toggle it off. Does that make sense, Louise?
Yes, thank you. And
Okay.
the other part that was already asked is all of a sudden in the last 3 days, my screen freezes. And I thought for that you click reboot, but nothing happens. The screen is absolutely frozen. Maybe I've left it for 3 minutes. And it used to always just move the mouse and it would come back. And now it's frozen. I have to start and enter everything all over again.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like something needs to be updated on your device. And what I want you to do is go into the search and type in Windows updates and make sure that your device is up to date.
Okay, because that always happens automatically before. You know, they'll say, don't shut your computer off, let it update. So I haven't had one of those probably in a week or so. 2 weeks. Shoot, I don't know. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, do check that out and let me know if that helps, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Hi, Carol. How are you today? Good. I'm glad you made it. You have to unmute in order to in order for us to hear you. Let's try that again. Go ahead and unmute your, there you go.
I'm sorry I'm late. Was a meeting that did not end and I have lost my Wi-Fi, but apparently it does not affect my ability to join your meeting.
Well, I'm so glad that you made it. And even if you are late, I'm happy that you're here. We are talking about quickening our PCs.
Right, I'll listen. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. You're welcome. And yes, Larry.
Question, when there's some updates that seem to want to occur, and it says that it's being prevented by, I think it's called BIOS. And then I get a message that says, if you can, I forget what it's called, but you can see if something has been happening, then you can ignore the BIOS. But it seems like it is extremely complicated and delicate to mess with BIOS. So I just ignore those?
You can disable them. You can try to disable them so they don't come up.
Oh, what are they?
Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can find a really good explanation for you. Hold on a second. Yeah, I think that it's a utility tool, but let me give you the right answer. Okay, so it's short for basic input-output system. Basic input-output system, and it's a chip that's found on your motherboard, and it allows you to access and do certain things in the booting process.
Huh.
Yep. So I wouldn't necessarily ignore it. I would try to accept whatever it's trying to do. But I do know that you can disable it. I don't feel confident enough to tell you how to do that.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. So let's see, Carol, how is your computer working these days?
It's actually Eve. I thought I had changed my
Oh,
name. It came back to Carol, which is my daughter.
let me change it for you.
Oh, you can do that
I can.
remotely.
Mhm.
And I have no internet today.
You do though. I don't think you'd be able to do Zoom if you did not have internet.
Maybe it's been restored, but I'm a new chairman of a committee here, and I'm supposed to learn how to send out emails, and it kept refusing, and it said you have no internet.
Okay.
Answer me a basic question if you don't mind. Oh, good, you changed my name. Oh, and it's not Eve Levin, it's Eve Simon, sorry.
Oh, my, okay. Jen, I'll get you next. I saw you
No,
raise
that's
your
what I
hand.
was trying to tell you.
Oh,
about
okay.
Oh, then my quick question is, can you have, this is really elementary, can you have internet on the phone and not on your laptop, or are they connected?
It's not elementary. It's actually a really good question. And so the phone, because the phone has cellular, right? So you can have your cellular behave as if it's Wi-Fi.
I see. And the
Mhm.
phone and the internet, the laptop doesn't, okay. Thank you very much for changing my name.
You're welcome. You may have to do it again. I'm not sure. But okay, so there's something in our phones that's called a hotspot, and that's when we want to make the phone into a Wi-Fi, into its own Wi-Fi. We then turn on the hotspot. So that's what that refers to.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a really good question.
If you have time, can you explain what a hotspot is? I never figured that out.
Yes, a hotspot turns when you do not have Wi-Fi, but you need Wi-Fi. you can use your cellular connection, the connection that is on our phones. You
Right,
can turn on what's called the hotspot,
right,
and it acts and behaves like a Wi-Fi, like a mobile Wi-Fi modem.
but do you have to be near a hotspot?
No, you don't. You do not have to. You can
And
be
is
in a
that-
car,
is
you
that-
can be driving anywhere, and
Why,
you
why wouldn't we always use that?
because it is using your cellular data.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah. Does that make sense?
yes,
It's there in a
Okay.
pinch
right,
when you need it. Uh-huh.
okay.
Great question. Yeah, great question. Any other questions I can answer for you today?
I'll ask again. The
Mhm.
fact that I am connected to you means that my Wi-Fi is working again?
I would say so. I would say so. I know that I can't get on Zoom unless I'm connected to the Wi-Fi.
Okay, well, I'll go back and try it again.
I can when I'm on my phone and I'm in my car if I needed to continue listening to a meeting, because at that point, the phone starts using the cellular data.
I see.
And not to confuse things further, but if you ever had to use your phone's hotspot on your computer, you could do that, but it's not going to happen unless you ask it to do that.
And we wouldn't know how to do that, I don't think.
It's okay. Chances are you won't have to. Yes, Peggy.
Okay, we drive back and forth in the summer to San Diego, and then there's a lot of dead spots there. So I could use this hotspot thingamajig if I had to.
Yes, yes, you
Okay.
could, as long as there's cellular.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. You are welcome.
I'm so glad that your programs are recorded so I can go back and listen to the first half hour.
Yeah, it is a huge convenience. In fact, I've been recording a lot of my tech sessions with my clients and then I just email it to them afterwards, and that way they can review it and remember what it is and recall what we did together, start and stop it, watch it again the next time they need to go over that process.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's helped a lot. It's really
Thank
helped a lot. You're so welcome, Peggy. Hey, well, I'm here if you have any questions. I'm available to you for the next 10 or 15 minutes, so please ask away. Larry, I know you had some questions about your wife's computer, and I hope you all have a really nice Easter. So last Easter, we all had to stay inside, right? This Easter, we can get out. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
We can look for Easter eggs.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
No fair, Larry, if you're the one who planted them.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, so Larry, which tips here are you going to try with your wife's computer?
Goodness, I'm going to have to look at what you gave me, and I'm going to have to go one right down the list, because I think they all look very valid.
And
don't
where did
know.
you purchase her computer at?
Well, it's one of those small ones with a 1 terabyte message. The only problem is it has no HDMI output connection, so they're all the picture ones.
Okay.
It's a very small one. It's like 7 inches by 7 inches, and it's
Oh yeah.
pretty good, except it's new.
Mm-hmm. So the reason I ask where you purchased it at is that often when I'm helping clients purchase things, I, especially a computer, will always recommend that you purchase it at a store that has really good customer service in case you have to take it back to get
Yeah.
worked on. Mhm.
That's wise. I should have done that, but it was a good item on the computer and my son-in-law from Kansas City recommended it. He happens
Yeah.
to service computers in Kansas City.
Okay. Okay. Yep. So yeah. So just in the future, when you have a chance, go ahead and, get it someplace where you could take it back to if you need to, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're so welcome. You're welcome.
I have a Surface. You know what that
Okay.
is?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my family recommended I get that because my daughter, Carol, has a Surface, and my son-in-law can take over my computer when he wants to and help me with things, but he's very busy and not always in the mood to do it, so.
I get it. I have 5 parents. I know how that is.
5? Wow.
Yes. Well, I have 4 on my side and my husband's, and my mother-in-law. So yeah, that makes 5 and they all need tech support. So
Round the clock.
on the clock. That's right. That's right. So, but I did tell them recently, I said, whoa, I cannot do this on the weekends anymore. I need a break. So we have to do it during the week. Yeah. So
No
just
2
to really,
a.m. calls.
right. Yeah, exactly. So yes, I have the ability to help you also remotely if you need that help on your Microsoft device. So that is very handy. It's a really handy tool, and especially when you need someone else to get on and look at what's going on your screen. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I do a lot of that. Definitely.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Oh, I have a question. That number you gave us last week was a phone number. You said, and I thought it should be an email or something. What, we just call you on that number if we need your help?
Yes, that's right. I'll go ahead and put it in here again.
Yeah, I put it
So,
in
and
my.
I'll put my email address also. There we go. Okay. Yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any. Yeah, sure. Do you see it there, or I can read it out loud to
It went
you?
away. Can you put it back?
Mm-hmm. How about now?
Okay.
It disappeared again.
Okay, I'll put it back up.
Okay.
I'm not making it go away. It's happening on its own. There we go.
Yeah,
Yes,
Abby,
Larry. Mm-hmm.
on our computer, there are 3 items. One is a quick view. One is the one you just mentioned about not making it automatically upload all the time. What's it called? I forgot. It's the one
Sync.
where all the data goes to. And then there's
Okay.
the one that says PC, and they all have pretty much the same kind of files, details, and so forth. And no matter what you do, it loads all 3. I would think there should be some way to eliminate one or the other of those so that it's not bogging down or using up time and space on the computer. Does that make sense?
kind of. It's hard for me to know exactly what you're talking about without seeing your screen.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm on the PC while Linda's working on the other one today, so.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's hard for me to know exactly what you're talking about, but if you want to take a picture of it, you can send it to me if you want to, and then I can see
Okay.
what you're
I'll try to
referring
do
to.
that. I'll
Okay.
try to do that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
people do this all the time. They hold their phone up and then take a picture of what they see on the screen, and then they'll send it to me that way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. You are welcome.
Abby, is it Abby at senior singular or seniors savvy.net?
Senior savvy.
Okay.
So, yeah.
A single person senior, not a multiple, and then
Yeah.
savvy. I
Mhm.
didn't know
Yep.
quite how many S's to put in. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, I think what I'll do is I'll put this screen back up here and share this right over here. Here we go.
I need to write it down.
There you go. So that one is easier to see, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Does anyone here know Louise on my screen there?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've known her for years.
She's well known. You know that? I work with people around the country and they see her picture and they say, is that Louise? And her name is
Minton. Minton
Yes,
is her last name.
but she's also known as Louise Davis too. And
I
she'll
didn't know
they'll
her as
say,
that. I used to play bridge with her.
that's so funny. You know, it just happened. This was 3 years ago. I just happened to be there on her 100th birthday.
Right. She's about 103 or 4.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, she is. And so I was just talking to the photographer who took the picture because it's time for me to get some new work. Oh, do you want me to put that back on? I'm sorry about that. Because it's time for me to get some new pictures. And I told her, and I said, oh, you have no idea how much joy I've gotten from using your photo, because it was just everything was happening at the right timing on that particular day. And the photographer was really touched to know that. And I said, that photo has been such a blessing to me. So thank you. Thank you so much.
She's in assisted living at Pueblo Norte.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, that's right. And I have another community I work with in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. And someone there recognized Louise also and asked if I was related to her. People always ask me if I'm related to her. And I say, no, I just happened to be there on her 100th birthday. So yeah, funny little story there. All right. Okay, well, I want to wish you all a wonderful weekend, and I'll send a copy of this. Thank you, Eve. I'll send a copy of this to Joe this afternoon, and I thank you all for being with me today.
Thank you so much, Abby.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Happy Easter, all of you.
Thank you. Yes.